Hogwarts Legacy boycott drama isn't real. See, like this title, like what do you mean isn't real?
You know what's the best thing about all these so-called controversies in the gaming community? All you have to do is shut your phone off and they no longer exist.
Okay, alright. So if that's the logic you're coming with, that is true. Even news around the world, if you don't watch the news, you don't know what's going on in the world, and it doesn't even matter to you. What matters is what's happening in your room, in your house, in your neighborhood, in your work, in your school, whatever. You know?
Years now, this has been the main struggle for me as a YouTuber as well. On one hand, I enjoy getting to share my opinions with you all on gaming news when it's something that I feel really matters to me. But on the other hand, the realization kicked in with me a while ago that too much of this news is simply fabricated. We live in a world revolving around social media, where people have incredibly low attention spans and where any one voice can be elevated to appear like it's representing a much larger group than it is in reality. Meanwhile, content creators are in a constant struggle to gain their audience's notice, so we love nothing more than to make use of this and lean into people's emotions as much as possible.
True.
I say we because I'd be lying if I said I didn't take part in it myself as well. After all, here I am, making a video about the Hogwarts Legacy boycott, a topic which is bound to catch plenty of eyes, but otherwise honestly wouldn't be something much on my own mind at all. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I'm still in the process of finding the ideal solution to this problem of my own. I could never go back to making content on a daily basis on this channel like I used to many years ago, but I also really don't want to go months without making videos anymore because no topic really seems to suffice. Alas, for now, let's just skip my inner ramblings here and actually get to the point. With less than a month to go until the release of Hogwarts Legacy, there are increasingly larger calls for a boycott of the game. The main reason is because of J.K. Rowling, whose name is obviously attached to this product, being that she's the creator of Harry Potter's universe. In recent years, Rowling has openly expressed...
Okay, I want to see this. Like, I don't know a lot about it. If sex isn't real, there is no same-sex attraction. If sex isn't real, the lived reality of women globally is erased. I know and love trans people. I know and love trans, she said that. Okay. But erasing the concept of sex removes the ability of many to meaningfully discuss their lives. It isn't hate to speak the truth. The idea that women like me, who have been empathetic to trans people for decades, feeling kinship because they are vulnerable in the same way as women to male violence, hate trans people because they think sex is real and has lived consequences in a nonsense. I respect... Wait, I cannot see it.
Views in the ongoing transgender debate, which, suffice to say,
it's so worrisome that this person, like the author, is even saying, I love trans people, I care, but also I have my own opinion about specifics, you know, is being so outblown.
Such a number of people.
Okay, people who menstruate, so basically women who have a monthly menstrual cycle. They bleed on a monthly, factually, scientifically proven thing. Okay, I'm sure there used to be a word for those people. Someone help me out. Woman? Oh my God. Opinion, creating a more equal post-COVID-19 world for people who menstruate. People who menstruate. The fudge? Those are called women. Huh?
People severely seem to disagree with. Kotaku recently published an article highlighting a heated argument taking place in a Reddit thread where Rowling's comments were repeatedly called transphobic and she was named a so-called
trans-exclusionary
radical feminist. The thread, published on a popular Reddit, was named "A friendly reminder from your mod team that this woman is a TERF and anyone who pledges to support her monetarily is also a transphobe."
Okay, I don't know about this. You know what I think she... Okay, this is just my opinion without knowing a lot, okay? I'm just gonna say this out loud really quickly and then move on. I think that her biggest problem was that she was trying to say women are women who menstruate and women are not trans women. You cannot say it's a woman if she's a trans woman because she cannot menstruate the way that a woman can. And I think that's the biggest buzz. I'm not sure. I'm still figuring it out.
This same sentiment, not just about Rowling, but also ascribing her stance to anyone deciding to buy Hogwarts Legacy, is being repeated across social media in larger numbers with each day that Hogwarts Legacy's launch is getting closer to us. Now, without further getting into any of J.K. Rowling's opinions or my personal views on the discussion yet, let's first talk about the theoretical implications that a major boycott could have on Hogwarts Legacy as a product. While it's impossible to speculate about exact percentages, I definitely do expect a part of the game's sales revenue to go towards J.K. Rowling. Warner Bros. Games has basically been forced to make it clear she is not contributing in any way to the game nor its narrative, but that she still earns royalties from any product based on her world is pretty obvious.
Why does it even matter? Like, I'm sure trans women don't want to be called trans women. They worked so hard to be identified as a woman, and they want to be called a woman. And if you meet a trans woman and you know the struggle she went with, and she's your friend, she's someone close to you, if she wants to be called a woman, you're gonna call her a woman. That doesn't matter if she menstruates or not, she does this or that. Like, yeah, scientifically, if we go biologically, then we can, if she goes to the hospital and she says, yo, I'm a trans woman because of this and that, and I have this issue in my tummy or something, like she's sick, people are gonna say, okay, you're a trans woman, like we're gonna work around it. But in any other way, it doesn't even matter. She's a woman. If she identifies as such, and if that gives her so much happiness and makes her feel that she belongs, then just call her a woman. Why is that a big deal?
Obvious to me. While J.K. Rowling herself may already be
Truly
filthy
isn't.
rich, and
It's
I
just
honestly
pronoun.
doubt that these sales will prove
That
to become
matters
a
to someone and
noteworthy
doesn't
addition
matter
to her
to
net
you.
worth, I also do understand that she apparently contributes to particular charities, not exactly in line with the views of those who are choosing to boycott the game. In other words, I actually think it can be a pretty valid point to assume that some of the money you'd spend on Hogwarts Legacy may go towards causes that could perhaps directly oppose those that would have your own support.
Oh my god, that is so cool!
So all in all, perhaps you may be surprised to hear it come out of my mouth, but I really don't have a problem with people choosing to ignore Hogwarts Legacy for their own principled reasons. In fact, I honestly wish more people were this critical in their purchasing decisions, not just from a political perspective, but especially from the consumer side of things. Way too often nowadays do I hear people complaining about games taking a direction that they aren't fond of remakes that they feel are completely unnecessary, of characters written in a way where they no longer appeal to them at all. But when push comes to shove, out of sheer desperation not to miss out on the current new thing, their money goes towards these products anyway, be it at launch or during a sale as, I guess, a best case scenario. Far too few of us seem to understand that as the consumers, we are in control at the end of the day, and it's up to us to voice this unhappiness. We don't do that through meaningless criticism, yet cowardly shying away from taking any action. We vote with our wallet, and that is what brings across actual change. That being said, let's bring the discussion back to Hogwarts Legacy and what I do take issue with myself. That's obviously trying to guilt-trip others, telling them they're transphobes merely for having different priorities and dictating that they can't possibly be buying the game merely for the desire of what it actually offers. Taking this approach is always gonna blow up in your face. I'll tell you this much, for me, it only achieves the opposite effect. A little voice inside of my mind would almost make me feel inclined to support the product now, if it wasn't just to spite.
This is exactly what you're doing wrong. It's like when you tell a kid don't do something, they want to do it then, you know? It's the rebellious in us. We as humans, we don't like being told what to do, what to like, how to act. We hate that. And when you shove it so much into our face and you keep telling us, then we are going to do the opposite, just to tell you that you cannot tell us what to do, you know?
Those who think they can assume things out of me and label me whatever they want. It's straight up toxic, and I'll be the last to give in to your pathetic threats, no matter how many of you may try to coerce me. Who the hell do people honestly think they are, telling others what decisions to make? Now, as you know, I am in no way a blind apologist for Hogwarts Legacy as a product, and to be honest, as of now, I haven't even made my mind up whether I'm going to be getting it or not. I recently made a video analyzing the gameplay, and I think I expressed plenty of reservations that I still have regarding the story, voice acting, and how satisfying the combat may turn out to be. Then again, like many others, I grew up with the Harry Potter books and movies, and I can't say that the promise of roaming around a rendition of Hogwarts this vast, expansive and full of detail isn't appealing enough in and of itself. All that I'm trying to say is that my decision to buy this game or not
I'm gonna play the old Harry Potter game before this game comes out.
The quality of the game that is ultimately delivered. Unfortunately, everyone seems to be expected to fall in line with the same one-sided political narrative nowadays, but me personally, I simply refuse. Don't get me wrong, I've never had a problem expressing myself and taking conversations about games beyond their basic talking points. Honestly, as someone whose views admittedly lie mostly in the libertarian category, it's always been quite a lonely experience, refusing to go along with any quote-unquote side, and having that comfort of automatically knowing I'll be backed up by the vast majority of my viewers who fall in the same category. But what I personally value is to always try and remain critical, neither shying away from putting myself in the shoes of those I actually disagree with, nor staying true to my own beliefs at the end of the day. This is always what has been of most importance to me, and that will never change. Now, before I end this video, I felt inclined to save my last words for the situation around J.K. Rowling herself, because I wanted to speak out against the names that not only people, but even platforms like Kotaku are assigning to her. While I both understand and respect those that heavily disagree with her opinions, I believe that any labels placed onto people are nothing more than a simple-minded way to take any form of valid discussion away around the topics they speak up about, and to cast suspicion on anyone willing to go into a debate with an open mind. I can know because I've also been the victim of excessive labeling in the past, being called certain totally unjustified names only with the purpose of trying to silence me and anyone even remotely agreeing with me into submission. Now, I have absolutely no desire to take part in the same conversation that she has started, nor do I feel it's a topic I have much of an opinion about at all. In the end, not everything is something that I have to care about. For now, I think it's time I shut my phone off again and take a walk. Thanks a lot everybody for watching this video with my thoughts on the Hogwarts Legacy boycott situation. I really hope you enjoyed it. As you can tell, I'm still going back and forth here a little bit between if I want to approach these videos from more of a scripted approach like I always used to do, or if I want to go back to doing more on-camera type discussions. But let me know what you actually prefer yourself in the comments. I would really appreciate that. Of course, you could do me a favor by first of all hitting the like button on the video, but also of course make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, as one thing I can promise you, and that is that I'm going to try and actually deliver content on this channel again on a much more frequent basis. Yay. With that being said, I want to thank you all a lot for tuning in, and I hope to see you again next time.
All right. That wasn't a bad video. It's a point of view from a person that doesn't really care that much. And that's the thing, you know? There are people like that. People like us who really just want to play the game or don't want to even play the game. They don't even care. That's not just with gaming drama. It's all drama everywhere, all the time. The people choosing to boycott the game were never gonna buy the game anyway. Let's be real. There are people like that as well. So Malix, I saw you were typing something. I want to read it. Trying to find. Okay, representation in media is important for all groups. People vote with their purchasing power. Rowling's transphobia continues. People are upset by it. How we choose to deal with it is up to us. How we choose to deal with it. Yeah, I agree with you. Like, representation in media is very important, but you have to nail the representation in media. Let's, for example, take Dragon Age Absolution on Netflix. It's an animated series based on the video game Dragon Age. If you haven't played it, I definitely I love the game, and I do think that you should play it. The game has nothing to do with the animation itself, the cartoon. I did watch the animation, and the majority of the animation was a representation of different genders, and also we had lesbians as well as gays, and I had nothing bad to say about that. I usually have nothing bad to say, but I really enjoyed it. The only issue I said is that they didn't really bring a lot of backstory to the characters, so I wasn't really attached to the characters, but I didn't see anything wrong in them bringing that, and I really liked it. It's not my favorite. Castlevania is my favorite on Netflix, but Dragon Age Absolution is not bad. The thing about representation, you have to nail it. You have to do it the right way. I would say you should, if it's such a topic that is really important, if it's an injustice towards a race, gender, whatever, bring a character that is really lovable and represent that character to us through his struggles in life, what he has to go through in order to be where she is right now. Make us really love and care about that character and follow their story and really celebrate with them their victories, you know? And that's what you have to do when you represent a character or a gender or sex or whatever in media and a problem itself. You have to really nail it, and you have to put your heart into that character and put your heart into the story. Don't just put it there for it to exist so nobody can hate on you because you represented it, you mentioned it. That doesn't matter really. Like, mentioning it on the go doesn't really matter. You have to put your heart into it, and if you care, show us that you care by representing it the right way. They mandated taking the COVID vaccine in America, and people refused to take it even though it would save lives. You have the right to be contrary, but being contrary doesn't always make it right. Oh yeah, I don't agree with that. You live in a society. You don't live by yourself. So I think the law enforces what matters for the whole society. Like, if you don't take the vaccine, you get COVID, you're gonna literally make someone else get COVID and die because of your action. No, that doesn't work. You individually, if you live somewhere alone by yourself, do whatever you want and you have the right. But I think the law needs to be enforced in a society because people need to care about other people. That's the thing, you know. That's my opinion, at least. I don't know how, like, I freedom of choice does exist, but freedom of choice comes with the cost of you living with other people and having to deal with that, you know. But that was in the back, right? Now COVID is not that big of an issue anymore. All right, guys, that's what I think. Let me know in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube.